Well, because that's quite interesting. Because well, you're also known for transcending genres in a sense, in not sticking to just like you say the traditional singer-songwriter,
Yeah.
but incorporating all kinds of elements in your music.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it difficult then to have all these elements and then still have a cohesive, to form a cohesive thing or a cohesive album?
Yeah, well, it's always been something that I'm probably more than aware of at the start of the process. So yeah, as much as I would love to use different sounds and things like that, I almost have to strike a balance,
Right.
and because it can get tricky where, you know, you want it all to sound as if it was created around the same time and not bouncing around as if I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I've had those kind of thoughts before, but I mean, I'm just I would never want to limit myself and think I can only do so much here, because I'm a singer-songwriter, so people expect that the song should be, you know, the way that they imagine in their head. When they see singer-songwriter, you know, people automatically think it's a certain type of music and it's going to sound this way. So in a way, I kind of like to challenge that. But yeah, I think I do, at the very core of all the songs, no matter what elements are brought in from different genres or whatever, it's still just me and the guitar, or myself and the piano, because that's how the songs are written. And so yeah, I think, you know, as much as they are, I like to use those different elements. Right down at the core, it is very much singer-songwriter. Okay. You know.
And well, my time's running out, but well, let me go to the title track then. Let Bad In.
Yeah.
When did this song become the title track?
I had the title of a song onto our album. It kind of bounced in my head for a while, and it stuck long enough that I thought, right, I'd like that could be a good album title, and I had no real plans to make it a song on the album, but it just happened to. I was lying in bed one night and I had this one line that rolled about in my head. So I went downstairs and started writing it, but because it was the middle of the night, I didn't use a guitar, I didn't have a piano, so I didn't want to wake anyone in the house. So the song and it just became an a cappella song, which kind of harks back to that old Irish folk style. And I love that. I love the fact that people do that and used to do that a lot, you know, in the folk music, that they would just get up and start singing, and it was all about, you know, just the voice and the lyrics. So yeah, that's kind of that's where it came from.
You mentioned a line, and I wrote down 2 lines from that particular song. So what was the line that you started with?
The line that I had, oh God, if I can remember, it was somewhere in the middle as well. It was the oh God, I think the first line that I had was the tagline. So it was, if you let bad in, you cannot close the door. And that was kind of
where did that come from, that line?
I think a lot of it was me looking back on the likes of that DVD and seeing that footage of a 7-year-old version of myself that I could never be again, you know. And I think for a lot of people that's pretty true, that you get to a certain age and you can't become that person that you were, and that's just inevitable. And there's an inevitability through your life that you're always developing as a person, and you'll never be able to be that another version of yourself that was, you know, 2-3 years ago, just based on experiences. And because it's the same as when you go through anything for the first time, and if you've made a mistake, the next time you do it, you'll not do it the same. So I kind of reckon that, and it's a tiny bit sad that, you know, being that young and looking back now, I'll never be that innocent about things, and I'll always kind of be a bit skeptical and think about things much more than what I did when I was 6 or 7, when you just did it.
carefree.
Yeah, and you just reacted. Whereas now everything has to be thought through because it has repercussions and whatever. But yeah, I think that was the main kind of theme.
And then the other line, that was one of the lines I wrote down. Then the other line was, maybe I'll be the man I ought to be. So, and then you mentioned this, and I read interviews with you about this as well, where, well, like you say, you can't be that child, that innocent child. And you have to. So was this album a lot for you? A lot about discovering who you are as well? Yeah,
well, I think it was a lot of possibly looking back at the different crossroads that happened in my life, that I could have went one direction, but it has taken me down this way. And every so often a big decision comes along and I take there's another fork in the road, take another road. And it just really interested me that the decisions that I've made have possibly shaped me to be the person that I am today. But if what if I had taken one road different, even on a minor decision, I could have been possibly a different version of myself. So yeah, for better or worse, I don't know,
Finally then, was it a sad album for you in that sense to look back, or was it a happy thing to revisit those memories?
No, it was never sad. I mean, I kind of I'm sort of at peace with the decisions that have been made, and I think Return to Form, the song Return to Form on the album was kind of like a celebration of that, where it's almost like saying, well, the things that have happened up to now may have been good, may have been bad. I might have had different doubts or and guilt about things, but I'm now at an age where I just think, things are going to happen anyway, So, I think I've just kind of grown up to become comfortable in the person that I am. So I suppose in that sense, it's almost like a celebration of going through that whole process to get to here and be comfortable with it.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.